live from Double Island here, one of them islands surrounding Hong Kong. We are starting off the DreamHack Masters fall season, kicking it off with one of the quirkiest regions we really have here in StarCraft 2, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau, Japan, Mongolia. I am, of course, the Yakuzaku of Ducklings, and with me today is el de la chaqueta, que también es un recolector de harina, light_VIP. That's, I think it's more fitting for a different day.
Just a bit,
Coming down the line.
But what's up, Yaku?
Tease viewers a bit.
It's good to be back here. It feels like we just had the DreamHack qualifiers for summer, and now we're back into it with full, as you were saying. I was actually checking before we started. It was like less than 2 months ago, DreamHack summer finish, and now we're right back into it, mate.
That's a pretty long time. Well, that isn't as sarcastic as I wanted it to be. But without any further ado, we are going to be starting this off with a ZVT, where over here on the top left side corner map, starting all the way in the top left side of Lightshade LE, the Red Zerg player coming out from the land of Taiwan, representing Africa TV Taiwan, apparently, according to Wikipedia here. He is Cell.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Taiwanese Terran. He is blue, representing Naive Dream World, the clan at least. It is KevinLiu.
Both players who, I think really left us scratching our heads after the qualifiers wrapped up last season, right?
Yeah, these are two players who we have been able to cast for not just the last season, but even the season before that, we've been able to cast them, so it's great to see them continuing to compete. When it comes to who comes out on top, though, it's kind of hard to call. Like, a lot of the big names that we're used to seeing, they're already in the closed qualifier. Like, these open qualifiers are a little bit more up in the air.
Yeah, definitely one of the better things to happen in these DreamHack, that's what I'm thinking of here, like, formats. There we go. Obviously puts a little bit of stress outside from our players who should already qualified, but also it makes things that much more exciting for us here in the open qualifiers. We have no idea who is favored where.
Yeah, exactly. It means that we're going to be a little bit less biased, because especially last season we were hyping up our boys Beastlord and Go-Go Joey a lot, and for a good reason. You know, they got seeded into the next round as a result, you know, because of their performance in DreamHack Summer. So they're not here in the qualifiers. Instead, it is almost purely a Taiwan represented qualifier, and we'll see how our players do here, right? There are some big names like KevinLiu, Cell, Expect is in the qualifier as well.
Yeah, I think probably the big Terran player to really come up from Taiwan. So yeah, Terran players. So Nazin Rush is also waiting for us at the other side of the series. We're looking to face the winner of this, and he is somebody I have my eyes on.
Definitely. There's a reason why we went for this match specifically. As you said, you know, there is already lined up an opponent for the winner of this series. I think probably a big surprise when it comes to players who aren't in the qualifier. Mate, I remember, I think he only showed up in the second qualifier last time. Syark's not there.
Yeah, which is definitely a little bit unfortunate. We still do have a little bit of Japanese representation here with Vasarvania, but it is definitely odd to see him missing things. Or maybe they just have a unspoken agreement. Sark goes for the second qualifier and Vasarvania goes for the first.
It's possible. I mean, it was Syark's birthday a couple of days ago, so yeah, happy birthday to Syark. Maybe maybe he's hungover a little bit. I don't know. It's possible. Oh god. But we'll see how things go here in this matchup between these two players, because so far things haven't been too crazy. You know, no one's committed to like diving into a mineral line or anything like that. But we do have Banshees on the way a little bit later, because they were delayed due to the third CC.
Yeah, and he's actually banking them up a little bit. Doesn't want to immediately go across the map and see if he can get any kills done. Only map control that KevinLiu is banking on right now are his Hellions, but Cell's still going to meet that.
Yeah, exactly. There are plenty of queens here to push away the Hellions. There are plenty of queens for anti-air against the Banshee as well. If I quickly check, he did scout. He saw everything in the main base. He saw the third CC. He saw the tech lab with the starport. So he already has spores in each of the mineral lines. It's going to be really difficult for these Banshees to really find too much damage at all.
Yeah, but while the Banshees distract some of the army, the Hellions may be able to go in at a bit of a different angle. That takes a lot of APM and attention, but we'll see what KevinLiu able to pull off here.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see if he can pull it off. I mean, the Banshees, they're coming out here and they're gonna be they're gonna be able to clear up a bunch of this creep, pull away the queens, I would assume, and here come the Hellions.
Yeah, they do, but Cell already has eyes on them as they did get a little bit close to creep. And now he's got to make a decision. What does he focus on? Well, actually splitting up his queens pretty well. Or not.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be able to deal with this as long as the transfuses are on point and no one of the queens will go down, but only one queen.
Yeah, one queen for the cost of both Banshees. Not the best trade in the world, but still definitely in favor of the Zerg player. Meanwhile, Zerglings are definitely in position to get us around these Hellions, but very decent kiting coming out from KevinLiu. Really good use of the SimCity here between the mineral lines. Shouldn't be too much damage done, but a lot of Hellions are starting to fall. KevinLiu no longer has, is no longer dominating the map control.
Yeah, honestly, I was really worried for KevinLiu's Hellions there. I thought they were all just going to get surrounded and go down. So really nice positioning with that mineral line, with that kind of SimCity or that positioning with the terrain. And yeah, he was able to like at least keep some of these Hellions alive for the push.
And that push is coming real soon. Not a very impressive tank count here, not too formidable, but I'm looking at that army supply line and just the fact that Cell doesn't have too many banelings on him. Thankfully though, this creep spread is on point. He sees this army moving out long before he really has to worry.
Yeah, and as he sees it moving out, we have a Ling run by here. Thankfully, the Hellions are in position, so the Lings won't deal too much damage. But again, like, there's just so much creep to clean up here. There's a lot of, like, terrain to move through for Kevin, and now, like, the Banelings are finished.
He's getting in position. Bailing speed did finish up a while earlier. Still not enough supply to really overwhelm any of the Terran armies or anything that KevinLiu has here, but if he can pick his angle correctly, one good Baneling connection is all he needs.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, thankfully KevinLiu, he didn't commit to dive into creep, right? Like, especially because, as you were saying, he only has one tank. He's really just been flirting with the creep. He hasn't committed or anything like that, not yet. And I feel like that's a good thing, otherwise he would just get surrounded and, you know.
Otherwise he'd have to commit into a,
relationship.
Yeah. it's just friendly flirting KevinLiu with the creep right now.
Yeah, he doesn't know that Cell, man, he wants to lock it down, and KevinLiu's not about that life, you know. Oh god.
And Cell, he's trying to lock things down. He's trying to entice KevinLiu a little bit here.
I don't know why.
And you now know the Mutalists are coming out.
I don't know why that's where we went with the. But okay, it's fine. Oh god.
It's a very one-on-one analogy. Now, KevinLiu did see a couple of Mutalists earlier on, but he does not know that his cloud is coming through. There are turrets that are on the bases. Oh, very quick on the SCV pull. Absolutely what he needs when he doesn't have enough turrets to really be a threat to the Mutalists right now.
Yeah, exactly. The Mutalists, they do end up fighting with the Marines, and that is because I think he's a little bit distracted. There's a massive Ling run by here, and even though he lost a couple of Mutas, he's gonna get so many SCV kills.
Or he should. His SCVs aren't really going down, but now they are. Opposition Zerglings are absolutely insane.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, oh my god, the Lings actually stick around, so they're all gonna get cleaned up by these Marines.
That they do, but it does also delay the base from getting down once again. It forces a lot of this army up towards the north, and Cell is looking to make his move down south. I'm
worried just because, like, the Banelings, it looks like he wants to crash into the buildings, and that means they're not going to be available to deal with the Marines. Like, KevinLiu, he's going to turn around, and I don't know if Cell can fight this.
Oh, he might have been able to, but that was some very unfortunate positioning there. The Banelings completely isolated from the Zerglings. It did not take much for KevinLiu to target them down. He didn't even need to siege up those tanks.
Yeah, exactly. And now Cell, he backs off. He knows that he can't take a head-on engagement, so he goes for another Ling round by. This time, there's a planetary. The Mutas are dealing a lot of damage, to be fair, but man with gun. What more is there to say?
Yeah. Man with Gun is dealing a whole lot more damage. So Mutalists are really struggling to find any opening with the amount of turrets out there. Finally, they take out a couple SCVs, but KevinLiu is already knocking down Cell's door.
Exactly. Thankfully, okay, there are a couple of Banelings here ready and waiting, so it's going to be all about the splits for KevinLiu. Splits and tank positioning. And meanwhile, Cell, he's looking for an opportune moment. At the same time, the third base have fallen. The natural is going to fall as well to the Mutas.
Yeah, that Thor, unfortunately, not quite in position to defend against the Mutas. Honestly, still kind of isn't.
It's not the best.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's not the best place for it. Meanwhile, yeah, the Reaper's still alive in the beginning of the game.
And it's actually kind of making use of them.
Yeah, like it actually comes into play here. Like, it's gonna make it difficult to get surrounds. Like, wow.
It honestly does, yeah. Well, it does make it more difficult to get surrounds in general, but I'm just saying, one false move, very hot pickup, but unfortunately for KevinLiu, there's just an overwhelming amount of Lingbane in position. Most of his reinforcements are still back home, trying to fight the Mutalists, and that orbital command does go down.
Yeah, that it does, and now we're in a really weird position. So KevinLiu, he's like on 1.5 economy, like 1.5 base economy, right? He does have this planetary, which is fully saturated, but he lost his third, he lost his natural, his main is mining out. At the same time, he did kill a base of Cell, but only one.
Yeah, and to be fair, Cell is a Zerg player who's on a 3 base economy, but he's double expanding hard. His 4th base just finished up, and he's looking to saturate that. He's trying to get his 5th and his 6th base on top of that. Kevin really needs to find some damage here because he cannot out-macro Cell from this position.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And Cell, he's doing such a good job at just being annoying. Unfortunately, there were no missile turrets to protect the production, only in the mineral lines, so they just take down all these add-ons. Sure, oh my god, that was so close.
Oh, yeah, man. That would have been an instant GG from my end if I was in KevinLiu's position. I gotta be honest, like.
Exactly.
He is able to keep the Thor alive.
Yeah, thankfully, right, he was able to drop it in time. And meanwhile, sure, there's an army here, but there are only 2 Widowmines. How good are the connections gonna be?
Oh, pretty dang good, I gotta say, Light, but mostly connecting with Zerglings. Cell started to fight very far off creep, though, and that is not where you want your Banelings to be, especially when there are Marauders of concussive shells.
True, but the problem is that in that engagement, all the Widowmines got taken out. They will not recharge their shots, and KevinLiu's still trying to push into this area where there is creep, and now everything is here to help defend, not just the Lingbane Muta, but also a couple of Queens. KevinLiu, though, he just has to hold out a little bit longer for the reinforcements.
And he does. Oh, man, it's so unfortunate when you don't have the medevacs to lift your reinforcements into position, but they're getting there slowly but surely. Thankfully, Widowmines a lot quicker than tanks.
Oh, that they are. The Widowmines, they're gonna borrow. How good are they gonna be? At the same time, Mutas did go across the map.
Oh, it feels like a bit of a panic burrow there. Not the best connections in the world. There's still a pretty big patch where there isn't a creep, though. And Cell, he's kind of getting baited into fighting there. Look at those Banelings get isolated and taken out! Kevin, you gotta be careful.
Oh god, he definitely does. Meanwhile, Cell, he actually came back home with the Mutas. He wants to try and go for a surround. He's going for it.
And that he does. Not too many Banelings, but sometimes it only takes one. Mutas are absolutely overwhelming here, looking to take care of the rest. KevinLiu has a comparable army supply, but they're all back at home. They're all scattered. Cell has defended this position very, very well.
Yeah, that he has.
And now he's a Zerg player on 6 base economy.
Yeah, that's a lot of bases, mate. I mean, KevinLiu, he's rallying across the map, but maybe he can make something happen. There aren't too many Banelings here. It's mainly Lings, but again, he has to go now. He has to pull the trigger, and he's taking a little bit of time.
That he is. Cell's not getting baited anymore. Ooh, some very juicy Baneling connections there. KevinLiu still has a little bit of an army, but every loss he takes hurts a whole lot more than it hurts Cell.
Exactly, and at the same time, Cell, once again, he went across the map with the Mutas. Like, the production is under fire, the reinforcements are being taken out, and GG gets called.
Cell takes game number 1, fighting back hard from what was honestly a very precarious position at the start. I guess it just goes to show you how much we shouldn't underestimate creep spread. Get good at creep spread, and the rest of the mechanics follow.
Exactly. I would also say at the same time when they were entering like a pseudo base trade scenario, I expected the Marines to get more than just one base.
Yeah.
I think he was just a little bit like tentative to like dive too deep into creep.
I still want to follow that analogy a little bit, but yeah, definitely, it's understandable. He had those weird lists in his main base, really pulling him apart a little bit. It was hard. It's hard to make a commitment, and there's so much chaos around.
It's he's young, right? He's living that bachelor lifestyle. He doesn't want to get like tied down. He's living his life.
Yeah, not quite yet. He wants to be able to handle all of the things going on.
Oh god, he doesn't want someone else to come in and take half his shit. He doesn't want.
He likes his personal space, so he doesn't want to creep all up in him.
Oh god.
Around him.
Meanwhile, thank you so much, Soundo, for resubscribing 10 months in a row. I apologize. It did happen as we were going live. I'm also currently adjusting a couple of things. I did just realize that we did have to set up a different UI. So I did turn on Pro 2020. So yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's all good. Some teething issues here in game number 1 of the DreamHack qualifiers, but we're getting back into the swing of things.
You have gotten so used to having a separate producer, haven't you, Light?
It's nice, not gonna lie. Shout out to producer Chris.
Look, ANZ Champs, ESL Australia, they do a lot of things great, but one of the best things they do is that production.
It is. It's amazing. It's beautiful. Oh boy, as we're getting ready for game number 2, it is going to be a little bit. It looks like we are just waiting to get the second Taiwanese observer in, because there are 2 casters there.
How's my Mandarin?
So just waiting to set up the lobby. It seems like there's a lobby bug as well, so they're going to have to restart their clients and all that stuff. Oof.
Yeah, it's a bit of a process, but yeah, I guess something that most of us have gotten used to.
It'll just take some time, but this again will also give us a moment to go over the bracket and stuff. We did start as the game was, as game 1 was beginning, and ideally at the start of these broadcasts we're going to be able to go through the qualifiers, go through some of the players that we're going to be seeing today, and maybe some people to keep an eye on.
Yeah, definitely. Notably on the CSL bracket right now, my eyes gravitate to the 2 flags that aren't Taiwanese flags.
Understandable. Another reminder is that 2 players will qualify today, so the qualifying matches will be the semi-final matches.
Yep, that is going to be a best of 5 instead of the best of 3s that we have so far. 2 more players rather will be qualifying for the closed qualifiers in open qualifier number 2. That might be a bit of a mouthful. I do apologize, but you know what? Try saying that 10 times fast. And you're on your way.
Exactly.
To what? I'm not sure, but
as we are getting into game number 2 here, but yeah, because 2 players will qualify today, looking at the bracket, does look like Expect is the favorite in the lower half. When it comes to the upper half, I feel like it's going to be a little bit more up in the air.
Yeah, we definitely expect him to make it through.
I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry.
And this upper qualifier, this upper bracket is a little bit more brutal as we continue our series on Romanticide LE. We're here in the bottom right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. We have the red Zerg player coming down for the land of Taiwan. He is going to be representing a Freak of Freaks Taiwan. That might be outdated, but we'll get back to you in the next broadcast, probably. He is Cell.
Ooh, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide LE, but also over on the right hand side of the map, as he is proxying here on Remainder side LE, we have the Taiwanese Terran. It is KevinLiu. Oh my god.
He's proxying 2 barracks in 2 different locations, like, just in case!
Yo, I love this.
What
I love this, right? So if an Overlord, or even a drone, as crazy as that sounds, but if an Overlord saw this, they would see this and it'd be like, okay, it's just a proxy racks, it's fine. But really, it's proxy 3 racks.
I wonder if he's gonna actually go for 4 frags behind this. That would be insane, super committal, but, you know, he hasn't quite been scouted yet. Okay, it's just a 3 racks. Whew.
Yeah, it's just a 3 racks. We do have the SV headed up into the natural base. Could throw down a bunker for the Marines. Again, this is a very big brain proxy. Didn't need to be this big because there was no scout.
And I will say, it's a big brain, but it's also big distance as well. Those Marines are going to have a bit more of a distance to walk. There's always the opportunity for Cell to catch those reinforcements. Now he's aware, but Kevin is starting to establish a bit of a foothold.
Oh god, that he is. I mean, the bunker is already on the way. I'm a little bit surprised there weren't any workers that were pulled to deal with this, so the bunker should finish. There are things on the way, but they're not going to be done in time. Oh, maybe just...
Potentially, I feel like this bunker is going to finish up.
Yeah.
He's pulling them together. And yeah, there are Marines here. Not going to be able to prevent a bunker from going up, but there's still a couple of things that Cell can do from this location, position, rather.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we do have a spine on the way, so because of that spine and all of these things, he's going to be looking to break this bunker. What's important is that creep did spread, so you can't put a bunker next to this. It has to be behind it, so things could get a little bit awkward if he does throw down the second bunker.
Definitely to either reinforce this or, you know, if this hatchery goes down, there is nothing to keep creep here, light.
True. Yeah, that's a bit of a mistake, I feel, from Cell. He didn't throw down a creep terminal on the low ground.
Yeah, definitely very, very unfortunate. He evacuated his queen very quickly. The Brootlings have been dealt with, and Cell is down to 1 base.
Yeah, and now all the spine is doing is really holding the line at the ramp, which, to be fair, I feel like is probably a good thing because Bailing that's just finished up. Like, Cell is getting ready for a counterattack as soon as Link Speed finishes.
That he is, and Kevin is not at all aware of that. Oh, he's having it a bit! He's having it a bit! Does he see it?
He sees it! He knows! He saw... Oh no, he didn't see it! He didn't see it! He doesn't know!
He didn't see it, and he doesn't have any more SCVs here. He cannot build any more bunkers. These have to be the best splits in the world, Kevin!
Oh god, alright. We'll see how good the splits are, as well as the focus fire. These are slow bailings right now. There is a focus... Oh my god!
Oh! But 2 of them survive! And they do get a connection on all of the exposed Marines, or most of them anyway. The bunker has nothing to repair it. It's only Lings now, but it is an overwhelming amount of Lings. He almost had that light.
Mate, the focus fire was amazing, and then he just stopped. He just, like, threw his hands up in the air. I don't know what happened.
This is that I only have enough attention for half of these Banelings. Let him deal with the rest.
I was so impressed, and then
This is the biggest I game that I have ever seen. Very well played from Cell, though. And we are going to be continuing that with another TvZ. Cell versus Nazin. Oh Lord.
Oh my god. GG. I was visibly shook. I was like, like when he was focusing the Bailings down, I was like, oh my god, he's gonna do it, And then 2 Bailings just waddled forward. And what was crazy about it is that he focused all the initial Bailings, and those 2 took a long time to waddle onto those Marines. Yeah. It looked like he was panicking.
Those Bailings in the back.
Yeah, it was the Bailing. Like, it looked like maybe instead of focusing the last Bailings, he was trying to split instead, but he was surrounded by Lings, so the Marines weren't really doing anything, and he was like, oh my god.
Yeah, very unfortunate turn of events there for KevinLiu. I can definitely see that happening. You see the Banelings getting closer and closer. You think, oh, I don't have time to target fire. I need to split now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, his attention was very much focused on the Banelings. He wasn't as aware of the Lings already starting to get that surround. It's an unfortunate scenario all around, but honestly, I think that was also very well thought out from Cell to.
True.
He was down to one base. He was unable to keep that hatchery alive. He needed that counterattack to work, and it worked beautifully.
Yeah, GG, well played. With that, Cell does move on in the bracket to find his next opponent. My condolences to KevinLiu, because he's a player that we cast not just in these qualifiers, but also in events like ESL Open Cup Asia. He even wakes up early for ESL Open Cup Americas as well. I've casted him before with Milk.
Dude.
So yeah, like, it's a bit of a shame to see the end of him today. Again, unfortunately, there is no lower bracket, only single limb.